Историята до тук. Археологът Алия Еласра и императрицата в роботическо тяло Енкей са по следите на древна обсерватория, наречена Небесния трезор, в която покойният колега на Алия, робототехникът Яники Ренба, е смятал, че може да бъде открита тайната за спасяване на Небула от мрака. Въпреки че никой сред академичната общност не приема на сериозно приказките за Небесния трезор, археоложката успява да открие доста древни останки, като луна с кратер, покрит с метални плочи, вехнещия палат, мина от стоманената ера и древен храм на отдалечена луна, всяка от които по един или друг начин свързана с въпросния трезор. Учен от университета в Айокс дава информация на Алия за търговеца Амаду от Ренаки, който преди време на всеослушание е разказвал за обсерватория, която е открил. Дали това не е Небесният трезор? Нека да преминем директно към изследването. Няма много варианти. Unknown Ancient Site сякаш е най-добрият ми вариант и Ренаки евентуално. Може би Ренаки. Сякаш не съм бил там. Time to move on. Поне нямам спомен. I will prepare the sheets, wretch. Поне нямам спомен за Ренаки. После ще ходим в unknown site. Huang told me about a trader called Amadou. Можеше и през Маерси да минем по пътя, но обратно ще минем през Маерси, може би. Или пък сега да го направя, така или иначе. You will need to turn right shortly, Alia. Добре, Маерси точно по пътя ли ми е? О, да. Ами хайде сел към Маерси. Take the tiller for me. Wonderful. Така или иначе ми по пътя Маерси, a farming moon. Maybe they want their figurine back.
The soft, wet wind of Maersi hadn't seemed gentle before. I could see it now. Maybe Remba really had liked this place.
Много хубава луна. Всъщност, we've been here before. The people are going to be surprised. Surprised by what? Mistress? Aha. It's definitely her, isn't it? Definitely. The quality of carving is poor, but there are unmistakable details. Do people from Mercy sell, then? Did they live on that hideout moon? Or did Renba take the statue with him and leave it there? It's unlikely they sail, Alia Elasra. Moons in the Protectorate are mostly without boats of their own.
I had the clay figurine with me, in my bag, wrapped up safely in a cloth.
I wonder if they can tell me what it was doing out there.
Everything on Maersi was as we'd left it. The flowers still bloomed. The water still bubbled.
Greetings once more, stranger. Tell us quickly, did you find your men? I found the remains of his ship. The fire in the sky. I am sorry for your loss. Do you know what he was doing out there? No. He visited us. He visited us for a time and then he left. He did not say proper farewells. What do you mean by that? While he was here, he encouraged one of our women, Anulia, to marry an Ioxian. Would have been fortunate for her. I met her, I think. She still waits for his return. Is she in trouble? She is not with child, if that is what you mean. Do you know why he left? He was never going to stay here. You Ioxians are all rats and cuttlefish. I'm here about something else. I brought you something. Kibenia. Where did you find this? You wouldn't believe me, I think. And you're returning it to us? It's yours, isn't it? It's very old. This is a hermit's effigy, given to a hermit when they go out alone to remind them of the place that gave them birth. See here, she opens. Do you see inside? Okay, text. Kibenia. This one is several words. Waters. Us. Waters join us and us. And divide us, может би. My translation of join can't be right anymore. Maybe divide us and join us. Waters divide us and join us. Does waters divide us and join us make sense? Impressive. Can you... I assumed she was a goddess of fertility, not travel. But it makes sense that she might be both. Interesting. Does our goddess ask us to sail? No one knows now how to sail. Iox denies it to us. We'll put Kibenia back in the well shrine. She prefers the damp. She has been on a long journey, I think. Wait, something fell out. It is here in the grass. Some kind of foil. It's quite evident, Alia. That's a Rebeski foil. What's a Rebeski foil? You have never seen the internals of a robot then? What does a foil do? A Rebeski foil carries detail, like one of your fingerprints, The foil is yours if you want it, Ioxian. I hope you find it of value. Good fate to you, good lady. Много добре. So, did Renba hide the Rebeski foil inside the Maersian statue? He left it on that rock, moon to be found, and sent the brooch to Miari to lead her on her trail to find it. And maybe it's connected to the last emperor's body, but maybe it isn't. But if it wasn't Renba's plan... But if that was Renba's plan, pardon, why not simply send the foil? A touching scene, servant. Should we leave now, Alia? Do it. Leave the moon. This way, Alia. And so we left the surface of Maersi, the farming moon. Чудя се как най-добре да прогресирам. Ренаки, може би. Що имам чувство, че съм бил на Ренаки? Не знам защо. Така си мисля. Сякаш съм бил на Ренаки. The Verdant Pass, sailing to Renaki in the Renaki Reach, via the Silk Pass. Дали ще ми даде автоматично да ме придвижи? Either riverhead leads to our destination, Alia Elasra. Може би не. If Elboret Patois is spoken ancient, and the control words for robots sound like Patois, I suppose the control words are in ancient. Блестяща логика по принцип. Нямам никакво оспорване на нейната логика.
The Ranaka Reach is famous for smashing boats to splinters. The Ranakans are said to make their boats from solid iron.
Ренака, му казват. Като турците. I've never understood, професор Мияри. You know, she brought me to Iox from an orphanage on Elboreth. And now she keeps giving me robots when I keep losing them. I really don't know what she gets out of it. Perhaps she likes to be kind, Alia. Yeah, no. She doesn't. She like a jerk. Not the robots, clearly. Not to the robots, clearly. I'm not convinced. Waters above. We're not through it yet. Как преминах през това, няма проблем. The Renaka Reach. You know, Renba must have seen the figurine of Cubania. He must have seen the goddess on Mercy too. But he didn't think to take it to them. Or did he? He was too concerned with his own finds. Let's hop her down, Enke. Avoid some notice. Renake, a market moon. Far beyond the reach of Iox по-скоро. Loading, за първи път го виждам. Май.
We came to Ranaka like thieves, hoppering ourselves into a narrow alley between high blank walls.
Sounds busy out there. 12,000 people living in a sewer. We've never find Amadou here. We should go. We'll never find him. I won't give up before we start. How plucky of you. This way. Да, ама ще идат другия way. Some kind of plaza. But this is locked. Huang must have loved this place. I suppose that's why he came here. Huang is your husband? He probably could be. If I wanted. Which I don't. For the last time, is this wise? We are far from Iox. We are likely to attract considerable attention. Can't you hide your face? I was not talking about myself. Just act like you own the place. Nothing could go wrong. And no one will stop you. Works for me on Iox. The fringes of an empire are always where rebellion starts. I should know. Act natural. Hopefully no one will realize we never went into this alley. Quietly now.
We snuck out of the alley mouth into a bustling street. Hawkers shouted each other down about their wares.
Rugs? The pattern similar to the one on the Nightingale. Miari gave that to me. Gave that one to me. The people here seem affluent. My analysis of the air suggests a high moisture content. Къде въобще го търсим това наистина? Amethyst plums. Продават. I don't recognize half of these fruits. Do you grow them locally? I grow them in my tubs on my roofs. Would a lady care for a flat mango perhaps? Do you know a man named Amadou? Amadou? Now, I really couldn't be sure of that. So many people buy my fruit, you understand? It's so very good, you see. Carnival grapes, fizzy just today. What are those? Ah, the lady is from Iox. Something less exotic then. Perhaps I can interest in you in a kumquat fist. I'll take an apple. Just an apple? Fine, lady. I have better melons, ripe sour berries, wet fruit. How about a red pomelo? Sour berries then. Upon it, fine lady. I prefer jewelry in gold. You want to trade jewelry for fruit? Jewelry is very good for trading, good lady. So is fruit. I'll pass on the fruit. As you wish. I really must get myself another customer. Тази жена. Абе, ей, булка, не бягай. Who is this Amadou, Alia? When we find him, we'll ask him. I see. You know no more than I do. Тази жена избяга. Моля те, булка, не бягай, бе. Let's see if there's anyone through here worth
The
talking
market
to.
of Ranaka seemed to never end. Shoemakers sold boots to the fruit sellers, who sold sour apples to the knife makers, whose blades the shoemakers used to make boots. I don't know if anyone on Ranaka ever slept, but if they did, I bet they bought and sold their dreams.
Тази ли е? Добре, аз ли съм? Forgive me, but do either of you know Amadou? Amadou? No, I don't know anyone by that name. He's a trader here, I think. Everyone is a trader on Renaka. How else would one eat? Farewell, fine lady, we must go along.
A fountain was messing about in the middle of the square, spitting at passers-by.
Baskets. Woven from grass. They are a lot like the ones on Renba was using. Maybe he came out here. Peasant stuff. Can you imagine a fountain like this on Elboreth? Just spilling water into the street? Where does the water come from? Is there a wellspring right here? No, Alia Elasra. I believe the water is pumped up and cycled. A show of wealth then. Do you think anyone would stop me filling a bottle? I doubt the water is drinkable. Vases. Inscription: I could keep my paintbrushes in them if I painted. Or flowers. You sound like you've never seen a jar before. Bread. Smells good. Must be fresh. I haven't eaten in almost 550 years. I miss it more than I miss sex. Excuse me. Yes? What's your book? I like books. Yeah, great dialogue. There's nothing wrong with that. Is there? Of course not. Well then. My name is Alia. Mina. I have a friend who loves reading. He was here on Renaka quite recently. I see. Where are you from, anyway? I'm from Elboreth. Oh! Elboreth isn't very nice, I'm told. Unlucky places never are. No, I suppose not. I'm looking for a man called Amadou. The servo dealer? Yes, I know him. That's his marquee above the lizard cellar. But you've already got one. This one's on loan. You must have fine friends then. I work on IOX. There are libraries there. IOX, да, най-вероятно няма да е голям фен. I've always wanted to visit a real library. О, явно е фен. Perhaps we could come to some kind of arrangement. Oh, no. No, I don't think so. Besides, my father would never allow it. I sell all the time. Excuse me, I want to get on with my book. I have to go back to work soon. Good fate to you. And to you, I'm sure. Shoes. Where's the shopkeeper? I could steal a pair and run off in them. Perhaps they are so badly made they would trip you up.
I could smell fried meat, spiced apple, fresh leather, wealth.
A cook. Hungry NK. Hungry NK? Нали, питай по-скоро. Half of these stalls don't have merchants. Aren't they worried about these? Perhaps these people are rich enough to be honest. Or perhaps the punishment for stealing is extreme. Best not to go wandering off. This is a big moon. Pardon me, do you know a trader called Amadou? Amadou? Who runs the letter shop? Perhaps he does. I only know his name. Oh, it's a man. The letter shop is run by a woman. You mean Belazé? Who is Belazé? Why, she runs the letter shop. You inner moon types are really simple, as they say. Good fate to you. Pottery. Горе друг робот ли има? They can't sell all of these surely, unless they break them after every meal. You don't know shit. Jars for water. Or oil, perhaps. They seem to sell everything here. Look in here. Those are lizards, aren't they? Gecko. All colors. You sell lizards. Buy gecko? Fine as gecko. It climbs walls. Can reach hard to reach places. Sorry, I mean you sell geckos? How much does one cost? 33. Gecko now or gecko later? No gecko. Very sad. You miss gecko, I think. Tell me, do you know a man named Amadou? Gecko called Eleonora, my mother's name. But you don't know Amadou. I was told his tent is above yours. Everyone knows Amadou. Amadou does not buy gecko, nor do you. This looks interesting. Who are you? You are Amadou. You are Amadou? What do you want? I was told you could help me. You want a servo? Are you buying? You've got one already. I'm not here to buy robots. Then what do you want? I've come to ask you about an ancient observatory. That's a strange thing to ask a servo dealer about. And what makes you think I know where any observatory might be? A friend of mine told me to talk to you. So the little Ioxian with the big ears has sent a bigger Ioxian. But what is my discovery worth to this one? I have found an observatory, it's true. Why don't you tell me where it is so I can go? Why don't I? A shimmering idea. Perhaps I could throw in a servo into the bargain. Do you think? I'm only asking for information. Information is an asset. Alright then, what do you want? That's a fine looking robot you have. I want to know what you have before I agree to anything. How old is the observatory? What state is it in? Let me tell you about the observatory. I've walked its corridors, seen ancient machines. It's built on 3 levels. Each is circular, each wider than the one above, so that it looks like it must topple from the sky, and yet it stands. But perhaps that's enough for you. That's not enough. I disagree, fine lady. Now we discuss a price. I'd happily trade the robot, but it isn't mine to trade. I don't see anyone else around. Tarikat. Alborethian fool, please. I'm not yours to sell. Trust me, robot. This is the best thing for you. I'm worried for you, Alia. I hope my meaning is clear. I don't like your terms. I could tell you about the corridors of glass. The machines like gigantic servos buried deep below the crust. Are you sure you won't trade? I won't trade. So be it. And so the observatory is lost once more. Just tell me. I'm a businessman. You'll find the door is over there. Such a pity. But if you ever find a servo, think of poor Amadou, his business drying up by the day. I don't trust that man. Further than I could spit. No point trading a robot for a false lead.
A fat man with a scarf flashed a cheeky smile at me as he walked away. Then, from behind me, came the patter of steps.
Wait, please. You want to come to Eox after all? No. You spoke to Amadou. What of it? He's my father. Did you really come all the way from Iox? I did. I can't imagine it such a distance. Tell me about sailing. Does it hurt? No, it doesn't hurt. Unless it hurts your heart a little. You should try it with someone you trust. You're going now back to your ship? Back to Eox? Is it far? It's disgusting. This place doesn't seem wealthy compared to Iox. Iox is staggeringly wealthy. Iox is wealthy enough not to trade. Къде се скри сега, бе, булка? Forgive me, but do you live on Renaka? I do. I am from Iox and I'm looking for old ruins. We build things properly on Renaka. If things are ruined, we repair them. Good fate to you. Безполезна следа. Sour apples. We've seen enough of this moon. Time to leave. And so we left the surface of Renaka, the market moon. Добре, сега искам ли отново да говоря с Хуанг? Май да. Отправим се натам. Aboard the Nightingale, we returned to the ship and sprang up into the water. I'm going to rest, Enki. Very good. What is our destination? To Elboret, perhaps? Back to Iox. Excellent. The University of Iox, a grey and bleak place full of faded thinkers who never leave. One moment. That's better. Alia, good fate to you. Alia. Talk to Huang. Oh, Huang. Have you looked through the mazwai I found? I have. And it's quite a find, I can tell. An early edition, possibly even one of the first. There's a lot of unusual material that's missing from the later editions. Does that mazwai has anything about the Heaven's Vault? Нали? Does it have по-скоро не has? It does. There's a whole section about the wreck of the vault washing up. Let me see. Washing up beyond the knot of the 3 rivers. Washing up like a shipwreck? That's how the story goes. You know, it's just a story, don't you? That's probably why that section was removed. But this edition tells you where to find it. Where to find Heaven's Vault. That's all it says. The knot of the rivers. Not 3 rivers. The rivers. I went to Renaka. I found that trader you mentioned. Oh yes? Did it help? And I met a woman who loves books. There. She dreams of visiting a library. What are you suggesting? I was wondering where she got her books from. And I was wondering why you went off moon and met a trader in the first place. I couldn't possibly imagine answers to either of those questions. But Alia, if you didn't find anything, you would like me to? Not tell Miari? Perhaps you could not. Perhaps that would be acceptable to you. Alright. And perhaps I can keep my finds to myself as well. That seems very fair. Continue talking. Another thing. How are things here? Down here. The mazwai has kept me pretty busy, Alia. I've made a few finds recently. Show me. The scribed compass. I found this compass. Can I? There's an inscription. I read it as remember sail back your mother again. Yes, I think you're correct on remember. I'm glad you agree. Now, I've seen something similar, if I remember right, that was also inscribed. Let me see if I can find it. I've really got to tidy up sometime. It was a dented golden compass. It was found adrift in the 14th laws back in my father's time. Интересно, добре. This one is a broken fragment from an even longer phrase. Интересно. Значи виждам myself или this, по-скоро this. Hold this. Your виждам, be. Was. It was. Hold this the way you would, as how you would, if it was your heart. Excellent. I can add my translation of it, Nelly. I'm sure of was as well. As if it was your heart. Hold this as if it was your heart. I could still change my mind, but hold this as if it was your heart. Do you have any more like that? Let me see. How about this? This is the script from a scratched silver telescope. It was found floating in the... Нещо си. There's a few words in this one. Stars, above, and wind below. Очевидно below е вярно. I'm convinced my translation for below is correct now. Stars above and wind below. By the stars, that was a long one. Do you have any more like that? Let me see. No, nothing comes to mind. Shall I archive that compass? Take it. Good fate to you. Yeah, I'll be back shortly. Я да вие къде отива между другото. И ще се върне ли? I'm bored of this place. Time to depart, pauper. Not just yet. Айде, спряме и сега не мога го намеря къде е. Видях го, че отива там. Дали ще се върне е въпроса. Мога да го изчакам всеки път, между другото. Няма да ми отнеме толкова, половина-една минута. So if Renba found the last emperor unreborn, but Miyari believes she is the last emperor, does that give her reason enough to want to keep Renba silent? To somehow make him and his ship and his findings just disappear? That is pure speculation. Speculation at best, if you ask me. Така. I've got a few things for the curators. Oh, yes? The inscribed heavily scratched sextant. May I take a look? There's a fragment of an inscription I read as never be long from path. Не е long обаче това. I don't agree with the word long here. The word for long should have a symbol representing adjective or descriptor. None of these is like that. И така. Тук е let или reach. Тъй като тук има lead, let, да. Очевидно, минало време, да. Never be led from path. That's better than what I had before. Thanks, Huang. Now, I've seen something a bit like that, if I remember right. And it also had some script. Now, where's that volume? Here. This was marked onto heavily scratched brass sextant. It was found while digging under the teacher's quarters. Here on, сигурно Айокс има пред, че не можа да го прочита. This one is a fractured piece from an even longer phrase. Така, очевидно Sky, May, Sky, Goddess, May, Sky, God, Find You. Може би е друго. I think that isn't the ancient word for find, yeah. Lift you може би, volt, wind, lift, drown you. Lift you. May the sky god lift you. I think that's right. Do you have any more like that? Let me see. No, nothing comes to mind. I'll take the heavily scratched sextant to the archive then. Take it. Good fate to you. I'll be back shortly. Добре, като цяло прогресираме. Я да си проверя преводите. Solvable. Point your prow for home. I love for last time. Абе, къде е? Unsolved ми трябва тогава. Unsolved. God of ship. Source of water was gift for нещо си. Many moons. Мале, той докато отиде, аз си мислих, че тук в транслейшъна няма да го чакам. Айде да отиваме напред. Да продадем артефакти. Surely you're done here. Surely you're finished here by now. Do it. Leave the moon. Сега, след като ги продам тези артефакти и директно отивам към следващото място. And so we left the university. Добре, и след като отида там, не знам какво ще намеря. Aboard the Nightingale, we returned to the ship and sprang up into the water.